books into the hands of local children. Plus, a piece of Bakersfield Sound history is up for sale. A look at the open house held over the weekend for the former home of country legend Merle Haggard. And with so many families heading back to school within the next few weeks, the Valley Air District has a warning. The advice they have for keeping air clean and kids healthy. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
Here's a look at our lineup on the Now, and we're talking about this new birth control app. It's like an app for your phone and claims to be 93% effective. But is that effective enough? And who is this really meant to help? We'll be looking into that. And in our lineup, look at why a very popular car financing deal, it seems to be fading away. We're talking about 0% financing. It can definitely make a big difference in just how much you spend on a new ride. And later, story you won't see anywhere else, big murals like these changing neighborhoods and helping out businesses along the way.
Thanks, Chris. It's a campaign aimed at helping students and families enhance their lives through the power of books. This year, the Now Bakersfield is teaming up with a local organization looking to make a difference. The Now's Tori Cooper has a closer look at the campaign and how you can be a part of it. Tori?
Yes, tonight is our official launch of our annual If You Give a Child a Book campaign. It's aimed towards strengthening family literacy in Kern County through book donations. I had a chance to talk to employees who feel close to the cause, as well as families in the community living in poverty, to learn more about the benefits and how it's impacting change. Check it out.
Literacy is a skill that can take time to perfect.
Pretend that isn't there and that's saying A.
But for families in need like Brianna Parker and her grandmother Mary Robinson, it's a skill they are working on as a team.
We read a lot together, and all the books that I have two of, I give her one copy and then I use the other and I help her read.
For Parker and her grandmother, this is all made possible through the Scripps Howard Foundation If You Give a Child a Book campaign and its partners at the Kern Literacy Council.
The partnership was able to bring more than 5,000 books to Kern County.
Every year, 24 cities across the country with Scripps television stations, including 23 ABC in Bakersfield, distribute new books to children just like Parker who are living in poverty to help empower families to enhance their quality of life together through literacy. 23 ABC and Kern Literacy are targeting the 8 schools with the highest poverty rates in Kern County to help break the illiterate cycle early on.
We're at elementary schools because we want these kids to have as many books as possible and be reading as much as possible so that they have a chance to be on par at 3rd grade.
Over the course of the school year, Kern Literacy tutors work with an average of 10 families at each school.
A lot of these parents were ESL learners, so they were trying to better their English. So we would read, go over the book, go over new words, and they could then take it home and read it with their children, with their families.
Showing families with English as a second language various ways to read and write together. The campaign also conducts community outreach with books in a number of different ways to ensure every child has a book at home.
We do the big assembly in January for National Reading Day, and then we do a lot of just packages where we give home libraries to families, or we just go to events like the recent Back to School Fair and hand out books at those.
Over the past 2 years, over 100,000 new books have landed in hands of children just like Parker.
Class. My friend Bree and I go to class.
Over 100,000 residents in Kern County read below the 9th grade level. That's why every year Scripps Howard employees, just like 23 ABC Elena Rusk, also join in on the cause with the community to help fund books for those who need it most.
And all of that money from our own paychecks goes into this huge pot. The Scripps Howard Foundation then matches it to double it up to $100,000. And that all goes into books that stay right here in our communities.
And Parker says the campaign is already making a difference for her and her family.
I think it's very great because I get to help someone that needs to read and write. So I feel very great that I'm helping someone.
Now, if you would like to donate a book to a child living in poverty within your community, visit our website, turnto23.com, and click on the Now tab. You can also find this story under the in-depth section on Roku. Chris?
Right now might not be the best time to buy a new car. Car experts at Edmunds.com say it is just getting harder and harder to find 0% APR financing deals. The Now's Andy Taylor taking a look into what this means for your wallet.
Buying a car is expensive, it's a big purchase, and even a bigger commitment to your bank account. Over the past 10 years, we've been spoiled with those 0% APR financing deals, and now those deals are going away. And experts say that dealerships are offering better deals to those who are paying in cash.
The better economy is driving interest rates higher because the feds have elevated interest rates.
Tim Jackson with the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association says there are always downsides for consumers in a thriving economy, and this is one of them. Right now, for car buyers, the average APR is 4.21%. If your car costs $30,000 and you want to pay it off in 5 years and you had the average APR of 4.21%, your monthly bill would be roughly $555. But if you change that APR to 0%, your monthly bill would be $500. That's a savings of $55 and a big difference.
You can't get any better than free, right?
If buying a new car is something you want to do, your best bet in this economy to get a great deal, Jackson says, is to keep a good credit score and choose the vehicle with the best incentives. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
Good info there, Annie. Thank you. And a law that protects military service members from getting ripped off could be changing. NPR found the White House is proposing changes to the Military Lending Act. Right now, the MLA blocks car dealers from tacking on extra products into car loans. This includes things like gap insurance. Now, Congress put these rules into place to keep military members from having to deal with financial distractions. Debt can also cause military members to lose security clearances. All right, cool story ahead in our lineup. Big murals. Check out these right here. They are changing neighborhoods. Maybe you've seen some around where you live, and they're helping out businesses along the way. The idea behind this when the Now continues. Here's what's making headlines in our news feed. The police officer in this video now out of a job. You can see caught on video beating a man. He resigned from the Baltimore Police Department. He hasn't been ID'd. The police department says there is a criminal investigation into this incident. Take a look at this video. An Oceanside boardwalk collapsing with hundreds of people on it. This happened during a music festival in Spain. More than 300 people are hurt. Wrangler jeans, an iconic part of American fashion, but Yoga pants are taking over. The company that owns Lee and Wrangler now dumping the jeans makers. Lee and Wrangler are going to become a separate company. The reason is people are just going in a different direction with different options like yoga pants. Well, starting tomorrow, one major grocery store is breaking ties with Visa credit cards. Kroger now banning Visa in some of its California locations, and it's leaving some customers in the dark at checkout. But could this be the start of a bigger trend among stores? And it's possible. That's because stores have to pay fees to credit card companies whenever customers swipe their cards. Now, out of all retailers, it is grocery stores that barely benefit from allowing credit cards. So it's becoming more tempting for chains to just ban certain cards. Take Costco, for example. It only takes Visa cards, but that works out better for shoppers like us because savings from card fees are passed on to them. Aldi, which is a grocery store chain known for its lower prices, just recently started accepting credit cards this year. And Winco, which only exists in a few states, has also been named one of the most affordable grocery stores in the country, and they also don't accept credit cards. So there could be a good outcome from not allowing customers to swipe some plastic. While scrolling through your Instagram feed, there's a good chance that you've seen photos of friends posing in front of giant works of art on the side of buildings. Now, these colorful murals, they're a great way for an artist to make a name for themselves, and as the Now's Chris Welch found, they can also do a lot of good for the neighborhood and businesses.
Tracy Weil is midway through his latest project.
This took like 3 coats to get covered.
A mural 125 feet long in Denver's River North Arts District.
And it's a good way to sort of get exposure to your work, you know?
But when you step back and look at the big picture, murals like these do more for a neighborhood than add a splash of color to an otherwise dull brick wall.
It can really kind of give an identity to a neighborhood, which I think is pretty fantastic. You know, if there's not a lot of people there, a lot of restaurants, what the murals do is they start to draw people and they start to draw business.
It's exactly why the event center and nightclub behind this freshly painted wall hires artists like Weil and why they've been doing it for years.
It's a great way to bring attention to not just your specific business maybe, but to a neighborhood, to a region. Regardless of what murals cost, it's absolutely the right investment.
And it's an investment that's paying off, particularly when it comes to presence on social media. John Beldock, owner of a motorsports store and body shop, says their mural of Evel Knievel has seen its share of Instagram tags.
Tons. Yeah, all the time. Branding wise, it really adds to what people think about us.
It's exciting to, you know, be a part of it. It makes a great sort of selfie or Facebook profile pic or Instagram post, and people really get into it.
So find a photogenic facade, your favorite filter, and add it to your feed. Reporting for The Now in Denver, I'm Chris Welch.
A Northeast Bakersfield home that's up for sale is getting quite the buzz because of its history. It was home to country music star Merle Haggard. The house is officially on the market, too. Check this out. An open house was held yesterday for the home on 4007 Brayburn Drive, which Merle and his family called home in the late 1960s. The country music legend lived in the home with his second wife, Bonnie Owens. Helena Rosenthal's grandparents also lived in that home, and she says they always spoke about the history when she visited them.
Yeah, Merle Haggard is iconic here, and we want to support his music and his art and keep that story alive.
Now, to be clear, the home is not being sold by Haggard's family, but rather Rosenthal's family. However, a big selling point has been that Merle did live at that home. As families and students are getting ready to head back to school within the next few weeks, the Valley Air District wants to remind parents to be mindful of the air quality. The district said during the back to school period, ozone levels tend to rise due to increased vehicle traffic. Parents can help reduce vehicle emissions by carpooling and not letting their vehicles idle during school pickups and drop-offs. In addition, Valley parents are urged to reduce vehicle emissions by driving less, driving electric or other fuel-efficient vehicles, and avoiding the use of drive-through services. This is especially important as multiple wildfires are impacting Valley air quality, and the public's help is crucial in preventing spikes in ground-level ozone and violating federal air quality standards. Plus, it will help keep kids active and healthy when there's cleaner air. We want to take a live look outside right now at our air. This is surprising though, Allison. We can finally start to see the mountains in the distance.
Yeah, I know. We haven't been seeing this for a while. There was a fresh breeze this weekend and that brought our air quality down to moderate. That's what we were seeing today, and we will be seeing that again tomorrow with an AQI of 97. But technically, even though you can see the mountains, we are still receiving smoke from the wildfires that are burning across California, but most of that smoke coming from the Ferguson fire. So this air quality warning that we have been tracking has been extended until tomorrow afternoon and could be extended into those first few days of school as well. Today, we were hot. We had a high of 101 degrees, so that is still above average, but cooler than what we were feeling this weekend. Tomorrow, you can expect more of the same. We'll have a high of 100 degrees here in the valley, 97 in the Kern River Valley, and 88 in the South Mountains. So we will be hovering right around 100 degrees for the first 2 days of school, Wednesday and Thursday, depending on your district. And then temperatures will be heating right back up as we head into the weekend, 101 on Friday, up to 103 on Saturday. That does look to be the hottest day of the week, and then temperatures hanging out in the triple digits as we head into the later portion of next week. But today actually marking day 6 in a row of this triple digit heat, and it looks like those temperatures are here to stay. Lows will be hanging out right in the 70, 75 degrees will be the lows for the first 2 days of school. Tori?
Yes, and tomorrow on the Now, Bakersfield, a historic national park shut down after concerns were sparked by the Ferguson fire last month, is now officially reopening. We're speaking with park and fire officials to gain insight on what's needed to get the park ready for visitors. Again, that's tomorrow on the Now, Bakersfield.
Let's get to some of our news stories here in the news feed. And global warming could impact the U.S. economy in coming decades more than first thought. The Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond says it'll impact farming, and then warmer summers and colder winters keep people inside, and that hurts industries like real estate. It says house shopping, it involves people to travel, and people would be less likely to do that in those conditions. Well, it's a story that caught the attention of a lot of people. A mother whale carrying her deceased baby for more than 2 weeks and 1,000 miles. Well, they're no longer together, but experts say she does seem to be in better spirits. the mom spotted chasing fish this weekend with her pod. Well, doctors may have stumbled upon a new way to treat obesity. Yale researchers, they were trying to create a morbidly obese mouse, and they took away 2 molecules in the mouse, and they found that the mouse could eat fat but didn't get fat. Well, government proposing changes to the rules for where lower income housing goes. Right now, that policy is to put that housing into wealthier neighborhoods to discourage segregation. Today, HUD announced that it wants to cut back on housing restrictions and let low-income housing be built anywhere. HUD Secretary Ben Carson says the current zoning codes and land use restrictions have made housing more expensive. We've already had suspicions that our phones are listening to us. Now an AP investigation is revealing they could be tracking our movements as well. Now's Andy Taylor here to break this down for us.
Chris, the investigation specifically talks about Google services on both Androids and iPhones. One of the more disturbing parts about all this is the investigation showed that users were tracked even when they turned off location settings. Google will access your location even when you're not using your GPS. Simple things like Googling a recipe or just checking the weather forecast will give Google a pinpoint of where you are. Now Google is defending itself. The company says that they track users' locations to improve their experience. It also says users can turn off the settings and delete their location history whenever they want. Deleting all this information is possible though, but it's tedious. You can go to myactivity.google.com, delete anything with a location pin. You'll have to do this one by one though if you want to keep this from happening again, and turn off both your web and app activity as well as location history on that same website.
All right, Annie, thank you. And there is a deadline coming up for some car owners to get a lot of money that they're owed. This is a class action lawsuit against Volkswagen related to the emissions cheating scandal. Anyone who leased or bought a Volkswagen or Audi 2-liter diesel vehicle has until September 1st to make a claim. Now, Volkswagen will either fix the vehicle or offer to buy it back. We're talking between $5,000 and almost $10,000. All right, next in our lineup, you'd like your birth control to be 100% effective, right? Well, today we're going to take a look at a new birth control app. Yeah, it's an app like on your phone, and it's only 93% effective. Is that good enough? Who's this app really for? We'll be breaking it down next. You're watching The Now. Let's get to the Now News feed. Here's a look at some important stories to know. And Elon Musk says he has the money to take Tesla private. That money coming from the Saudi government. Buying all the company's shares, that would cost around $72 billion. Well, you may notice that your Uber driver taking a little bit of a longer route. Drivers doing it to get more money. According to the Wall Street Journal, just know that it is Uber or Lyft picking up the bill, not you, the rider. Well, call it chasing a unicorn in real life. Check out this video out of Minnesota. Police rescuing two girls stranded on a lake, and you can see they were on a unicorn floaty. The officer throwing them a rope to get them to shore. Well, there's a new concept to contraception that you might start seeing more advertising for soon. It's an app, and the FDA just gave it the green light to start marketing. Natural Cycles claims to help prevent pregnancy by allowing women to track the days they're most fertile. Uses a woman's monthly cycle information and their body temperature, which they put in daily. Now, the app provides a calendar of green and red days. Green days, you're not fertile. Red days, you are. But here's the thing. The app claims it's 93% effective, and that is if you use it correctly. And that estimate may be high. Planned Parenthood in general claims fertility awareness is only between 76 and 88% effective. Regardless, the app does nothing to prevent STDs. So we Skyped with the president of Advocates for Youth about concerns surrounding this app. They're a national organization that promotes young people's rights to sexual health information.
Especially for many younger women, their cycle isn't exactly regular. So if you've got an irregular cycle or you really don't understand the implications of using fertility awareness, it's a tough method to use. It's not by any means foolproof.
Yeah, the app costs $80 a year or $10 a month. Well, it is that time of year, back to school, and we're talking to a teacher about her creative solution on getting new supplies for her classroom. Maybe something you'd like to get involved in to help local schools. That story tomorrow, only here on The Now.
Well, it was all aboard in Tehachapi this weekend as the community made their way for the two-day model train show. Numerous builders displayed their model trains to hundreds in Tehachapi. The Tehachapi Loop Railroad Club was hosting its summer model train show. The event was free to everyone, and there were multiple train layouts on display for kids, train enthusiasts, and just the community. There was even a wooden train playset that kids of all ages were able to play with. Along with all the fun, the event was also a great opportunity for builders to show their models and share their passion for model trains. Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, take a look at this. A pilot's quick thinking and maneuvering helping avoid any injuries during an emergency landing on a busy highway in the Bay Area. As you can see, the intense moments of the plane coming down and stopping all caught on video. We're going to have that story and much more tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. In the meantime, though, we are going to check in with Allison one more time, and the air quality is kind of getting better, right, Allison?
Yes, technically it's better. We're in the moderate range. That is the amount of smog that we are seeing in our air right now. Unfortunately, more smoke continues to fill the county, most of that smoke coming from the Ferguson fire. Now, I have a pool in the background of our temperatures because you're going to want to soak up these last few days of summer. We're going to be hovering right around 100 degrees for the first day of school.
I like those numbers. 100's perfect for me. Nothing above it. That's going to do it for us on The Now. We'll see you back here at 11.